All right, what is up? Welcome back to another video on the channel. I'm sure I haven't said those words in so many months, and there's so much that has been going on that I've kind of wanted to share, but picking up this camera, if I'm being very honest, has been one of the hardest things to do. But now, obviously, by you watching this, that's what we've been doing. So I'm gonna catch you guys up a little bit, so bear with me. So first things first, the boy officially has a car. Okay, if you guys are new to the channel, first off, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you guys are returning viewers, if you're like one of the 100, I think 158 that are still watching the page, I was planning on buying a car for a very long time. Okay, I'm someone who went pretty much my entire life without a car, right? 22 now. Basically got the car when I was 21, right before I turned 22, so that was pretty awesome to have that. And the car that I got is a 2008 Honda Accord 3.5 liter V6, which I don't even need to really tell you the engine size, but I gotta say V6. When you get something that's a little, a little higher up than a 4-cylinder, you gotta low-key show it a little bit of a flex. But that's neither here nor there. But I've had this car going on like about 3 to 4 months now, and if I'm being honest with you, it is like such an insane experience of having a car for yourself. A few days ago, I went to go watch the new movie, The Odyssey, which I'm sure many of you guys have either watched it or don't plan on watching it because you don't like how Christopher Nolan directed it. I don't know your beef with Christopher Nolan. I'm gonna tell you right now though, one of my favorite movies of this year. If it's not top 5, it's the one. Like, I'm being honest. And I'm somebody who really likes Greek mythology, feudal Japan, medieval knights, all that type of stuff. It like perfectly scratched that itch of like a really historical timepiece of a movie, but still having like a modern, just very over the top production and setting that I think Christopher Nolan does such a great job of. But I'm not going to talk about him too much. Basically, I'd use my own car to go watch that movie, got some food after, and on the drive back home, I was just sitting there in like this like kind of euphoric feeling of remembering how hard it was to like get to that point, right? Getting my driver's license after failing the test a few times. With my I only made only two. I didn't fail it like 10 times. So going from that to finally being able to actually drive my own car and take it wherever I want to go. People want to go somewhere, I can take the car with me, and I don't feel the need to, stay somewhere longer than I wanted to, or just feel this need to like go places I didn't want to go. Like, it was purely up to me. And that experience of watching that movie and getting that, few, like I think I got a burger and some fries from Steak and Shake, was such a great feeling because it literally gave me that understanding like this is something I can do now, right? It's a great feeling every time. Of course, also being able to drive to work and not pay, $40 back and forth for an Uber, which was not very fun for a while. It actually cost me a lot of money. But thankfully, after buying my car, I can confidently say I made all that money back and then some. All right, so that's the car out of the way. Let's talk about actual important things that need to be discussed more, which is the channel, right? The content I want to make on here. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you may have noticed a few different changes over the past few years. One of the biggest ones was my actual changing of my name, right? When I first started making videos on this channel, I went under the name MD Styles, right? It was a very clean name I came up with, which, funny enough, I got told by hundreds of people that that was like a fashion, like, ideal name. Like, they were always relating my name to fashion content, even though I never made a single video about fashion. I mean, I wear damn near the same thing every day, if that gives you any insight as to what I know about fashion. But I finally sat down and made the decision to actually brand myself my actual name, which is Miles E. Davis. Obviously, it is Miles Davis, but I can't use that because of a certain very well-known and respected jazz musician who I also love, but kind of took away everything. It's been such a weird experience these past few months of creating content under my actual name, because there's a part of me that feels like every word that I say, every action that I do, everything I post has to be somehow correlated directly to me. And obviously there's that unnecessary pressure because I choose to make it like that. But I think it's when you finally decide to shed an alias or just not allow yourself to be hiding under a certain persona or a name, where you start to be a lot more intentional about how you present yourself, especially on social media, right? We all know this is one of the most globally used platforms to express themselves, or for people to express themselves in any way, shape, or form. And I think it's just the fact that I am actually in real time doing it in the most authentic way possible by creating content under my real name. So there's been a lot of that, and I've been kind of letting it get into my head a lot more, which I feel like could be another reason why it was so hard to post a video like that I'm making right now, which I'm hoping to do like very minimal editing to this video because I just want to get something out. I haven't recorded in a minute and it's been kind of getting to me. So getting this video out and kind of building up that momentum is one of, in my personal opinion, the best ways to get back into doing something. If you are feeling like you're in a really bad rut and it is so hard to kind of take those first initial steps, you have to remember that when you're building momentum back, you need to start going uphill in any way possible. If you're someone who's kind of falling off of your, fitness journey, maybe it's getting back into like tracking your calories or going to the gym a few times out of the week, just getting something deposited into that bank to help you know that you're getting right back on track instead of trying to take this massive leap, this massive jump into something only to get burnt out or frustrated and end up going right back to where you started. I've been working so much as well on my actual job, which I'm not really trying to not tell you where I work at, but I don't know if it's just me or not. I've seen a surplus of people specifically that work, more corporate or just everyday jobs that are just getting absolutely like abolished when it comes to like talking about their job while they're working it. I'm not someone who personally likes to talk about my job, talk about how bad or annoying or frustrating people may be at the job. I'm just somebody who clocks in, works. If I meet some people that are cool, I'll talk, whatever. I clock out, I'm right back to it, man. I'm trying to do a lot of different things outside of my job. But I know for a lot of people watching this channel, you may not know exactly, what I do, what I'm trying to do. But just know the job I work is to pay the bills, okay? There's not much else I need to say about my job other than that. So for the past few months, creating content has been one of the weirdest things to do recently. And I feel like it's been so hard for me specifically because I'm always trying to attach myself to a certain identity or creative way that I want to produce and, show myself online. I have been through so many different experiences creating content on social media, from being somewhat of a motivational, inspirational content creator to trying to be a lot more cinematic with my vlogs and my reels and stuff like that, to just kind of wanting to blend the two at times. And now it's like I'm in this weird limbo state where it's like, do I create content that is value based, that is something you guys can watch and enjoy and feel like there's something of value there? Or do I sit down and just like produce something that no one's ever seen before visually? Like it's just insane, out of this world, and do that like once every few months and then just kind of like fade into the background once I upload. Because there's always that feeling of that whenever I feel like I make a video that I put a lot of work into. I just feel like it's kind of just there and then it's just gone. And I don't like that though. I want to be able to like show up more authentically as a creator. I want to be able to, work with brands, do things in the content realm that relate to, just helping you guys out in any way you guys need help with. Not saying like I'm a, motivational S tier coach that'll give you all the dating advice and stuff about life, but I know there's people that may watch my content or see people that are like me that are trying to build a certain life for themselves and want to know how they can do it their same way. And I know a lot of times it can feel pretty hopeless. There are times where you wake up every day, work in the same cycle of waking up, go to work, wake up, go to work, spend like 3 to 5 hours, if you even have that, outside of your job to take care of your grown adult responsibilities. And it's like, where do I use any of my time to build a life that I actually want to live? And I know how that feels to answer that question because I've had to answer that question multiple times. In fact, only recently, a few months ago, I had to really ask myself that question because it's something that you either like face and accept that you actually have to make that happen for yourself, or you just allow it to fade into the background and you just accept whatever level of mediocrity that you can survive at. Because at the end of the day, a normal life for a lot of people isn't that bad. You could pay your bills, right? Get a little bit of vacation time. Maybe you could do some other stuff. But when you really want to seek after something that's great and you really want to pursue something that a lot of people will not have the opportunity to have, you have to be willing to do certain things, put in a certain level of sacrifice, put in a certain level of work. And I'll be honest, man, there's times where I debate if it's even worth it. If I'm being honest, like you'll wake up and it's like, man, I don't feel like doing nothing today. I feel like playing the game and, doom scrolling for a few hours before I go right back into doing whatever else I have to do. And I know someone that's watching this right now, somebody's got to be watching this and feeling like I just said exactly how their life has been for the past few months. I know it because we're all human. We all do this. But hopefully, if you're watching this and you take anything from this video, it is to understand that you're going to have off moments, okay? You're going to have days where it's like, why the hell am I even like doing this anymore? Not like life. I'm not talking about life. No, don't quit, okay? Just keep going. I'm talking about just whatever you're pursuing in your life, right? Maybe you want to be, I don't know, a world-renowned entrepreneur, maybe you want to be an artist, whatever it is you're trying to do. There are so many moments of hopelessness where it genuinely feels like nothing is going to be working your way. But if you're able to work past that and you're able to keep the momentum going, I genuinely do believe you can achieve a lot of stuff in life. And I'm not just saying that to be like motivational mumbo jumbo, but so much of life is just sticking it out until you get to the end. That sounds insane. Hey, yo, why did I even say that? But that is my message to you, and I hope that it sticks and resonates with you as you progress and choose to go down whatever path you're choosing to go down. So, with all that being said, I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, make sure you give it a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Comment down below any questions you guys may have. And I'm back. Hope you guys do enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.